When my wife Megan messaged me saying she'd been pulling an overnight shift with her boss, I felt that old, sharp twinge. The one that hits when you've doubted something for a long time but kept praying you were mistaken. The wording of her text felt practiced, polished, almost too sure of itself. I stared at the screen briefly, then replied evenly, "Thanks for telling me." She was probably bracing for anger, accusations, maybe interrogation. Instead, I set my phone aside and went to the bedroom closet, where her perfectly organized clothes hung like an exhibit of carefully curated excuses. I'd noticed the changes. New outfits, unfamiliar perfume, late-night work emergencies that never quite added up. Tonight didn't shock me, confirmed everything. I pulled out 3 moving boxes and began packing up all her belongings. Dresses, shoes, cosmetics, handbags. Lies always come with a cost, and I was done covering it. When I finished, the boxes were taped shut, labeled, and ready to go. Most guys would have confronted her. I didn't want theatrics. I wanted resolution. I loaded the boxes into my truck and drove across town to her boss's modern glass office tower. It looked unsettling. The top floor lights still burning at midnight, long after any legitimate workday should have ended. I went inside with a nod from the security guard. He recognized me and let me ride the elevator up. The corridor was quiet except for muted laughter drifting from her boss's office. I didn't need to hear more. I placed all 3 boxes neatly outside his door. With a marker, I wrote a short note on top. Since she spends her nights here, her things might as well stay here too. I snapped a photo for my records, turned around, and walked away without knocking. The sense of finality was oddly calming. When I got back home, the house felt altered, lighter, quieter, almost unburdened. I sat down, poured myself a drink, and waited. Not for her return. Not for an apology. I waited for the moment when her carefully constructed lies would finally corner her. At 3:55 a.m., my phone vibrated. Then again. Then nonstop. 5 missed calls from Megan. I ignored them. On the 6th, curiosity took over. I answered, keeping my voice steady. "Everything all right?" What came next was raw panic tangled with disbelief. "Where are my clothes? Why is all my stuff at my boss's office? Have you lost your mind?" Her voice cracked, shaking, stripped bare. For the first time in years, she sounded powerless. She wasn't furious. She was scared. She realized I hadn't yelled or pleaded, which meant I was already gone. "I need you to come get me," she muttered. "Please, we have to talk." I leaned back, letting the silence stretch. "Talk," I echoed. "You've been talking to him all night. You can keep that conversation going." Silence followed, thick and heavy. Then a fragile whisper. "Please don't do this." I heard another voice nearby, a man's, her boss. Suddenly, hushed arguing broke out. Doors opened. Footsteps moved. Megan's breathing turned frantic. "He says I have to leave," she cried. "He won't let me stay. He said something about it being his problem. That told me everything. The moment the affair became inconvenient, he discarded her. Her fantasy unraveled in real time, and for the first time she faced the fallout alone. She begged again, voice trembling. "Please pick me up. I'm outside. It's freezing. I don't have anything to wear." I could picture her in the dark parking lot at 4 in the morning. Makeup smeared, heels clicking against concrete, clutching her purse like it was the last remnant of her former life. I took a slow drink. "I already dropped off everything you'd need tonight," I said. "If it's not there, that's between you and him." She broke down. Her boss wouldn't answer the door. Security wouldn't let her back inside. For the first time, she was truly stranded. "Please," she whispered. "I need you." And that was the truth. She only needed me now that the man she chose over me had rejected her. My silence became the first boundary I'd drawn in years, louder than any argument. "I'll send you something," I finally said. Relief flooded her voice. "Thank you. Thank you." That relief vanished when she heard my next words. "Check your email." I hung up. 10 seconds later, the calls started again. 20 in a row. I didn't answer. In her inbox was a PDF with my signature already on it, divorce papers, along with screenshots, late-night texts, suspicious calendar entries, and the photo of her boxes sitting outside her boss's office. Her quiet sobs turned into hysterical wailing. 40 minutes later, she texted, "Please come home so we can fix this." But when a house has already burned to ash, there's nothing left to repair. Around sunrise, her sister messaged me. She showed up here crying and screaming. What happened? I didn't respond. This wasn't my chaos to manage anymore. Her family would learn the truth soon enough. Megan kept sending messages, long blocks of apologies, threats, promises, denial, bargaining, the predictable phases of consequence. But I didn't feel angry. I felt clear. I finally understood. She didn't want me. She wanted a fallback, someone to catch her after her choices collapsed. I wasn't going to be that person again. I walked into the bedroom, our bedroom, and stared at the empty closet. It didn't feel tragic. Felt real. Illusion had finally given way to truth. At 8:12 a.m., Megan sent her last message. I'm coming home. We're talking whether you want to or not. I smiled and replied with the final words I would ever send her. There is no home. The locks were changed at 7. And that was the end. No screaming. No spectacle. Just the cold, quiet certainty that comes when someone burns the bridge you spent years building. She lost her marriage, her home, her safety net, and her illusion of control, all in one night. And I walked away free, calm, and finally awake. Sometimes the calm response is the one that destroys them most.